Just when everyone thought Toyota was quiet, it made the biggest attack, and now, everything is about to change. While the rest of the companies in the industry were lost in show-offs and stage lights, there was one company that was quietly building something that has now completely shaken up the market. No leaks, no events, but now everything is out. Toyota's CEO has suddenly made a statement that has increased the heartbeat of the entire auto industry. This was not a normal announcement, it was a direct warning. Our new dynamic force engine will destroy the competition. According to sources, this engine has been designed in such a way that it not only gives new life to hybrids, but also leaves behind the limitations of conventional engines. And this is the reason why everyone's eyes are now turned towards Toyota, from Tesla to Ford and BYD. So, what is this dynamic force engine? What is in it that makes it the most aggressive move in Toyota's history? And why is there an atmosphere of restlessness in the boardrooms of other companies at this time? Let's unravel this suspense. But before that, if you also want to stay at the forefront of the world of auto technology, then do not forget to subscribe to the channel so that every new wave of technology reaches you first. Before we talk about that engine, let's understand a little about Toyota. Why is this company not giving up the gasoline engine even while running in the electric race? When the whole world is running towards electric vehicles, when every company is in a race to connect its next car with battery and motor, Toyota is one name that has surprised everyone. It is not only maintaining its old gasoline engines, but has also brought a new dynamic force engine. The question arises, when Tesla, BYD, Ford and other auto giants are running fast in the electric vehicle race, then why is Toyota still making traditional engines? Actually, the thinking behind Toyota is not just about today's trend, but about the coming decades. Toyota knows that EV is a progressive change at the moment, but this change is not the same for everyone. Many big markets like India, Africa, Southeast Asia, and the Middle East are still behind in terms of EV infrastructure. Here, charging stations, stable power supply, and logistics of EV batteries are still a challenge. In such a situation, Toyota believes that by focusing only on EV, it will ignore the needs of a large portion of consumers. Toyota has a special strategy, the multi-pathway strategy. This means that the company believes every market has its own needs and a single solution does not fit everywhere. Under this thinking, Toyota has worked on EV, hybrid, plug-in hybrid, and hydrogen, all four. And the dynamic force engine is a part of this thinking. So, this engine has been designed to give more power with less fuel, less pollution, and a longer life. Basically, Toyota is targeting those customers who can't really afford EVs but still want better mileage and, modern technology. Apart from this, Toyota's biggest strength is honestly its trust and long-term value. People just know that Toyota's vehicles run for years and, well, their engines almost never fail easily. This belief really encourages Toyota to keep investing in traditional technology. Also, Toyota's hybrid technology, like the Prius, has shown that a mix of petrol and electric power can actually be a great solution, especially in countries where EV charging is, still a distant dream. Toyota engineers also understand that petrol engines can be made as efficient as electric vehicles with the right technology. The dynamic force engine is a great example of this, where airflow, compression ratio, and heat management have all been modified to increase performance while reducing environmental impact. Toyota wants to prove that thinking electric vehicles are the only future is, kind of limited thinking. They believe that smart engine technology can also compete with the market in the future. Toyota believes that not only electric vehicles are the future, but petrol engines also have a lot of room for improvement. With this thinking, Toyota has launched its dynamic force engines, which have been made by breaking away from the old approach. These are not just minor updates, but are actually part of Toyota's global design system called TNGA, which makes vehicles more durable, better in fuel efficiency, and easier to manufacture. While other companies are engaged in becoming fully electric, Toyota believes that both types of technology, petrol and electric, should run together. The company's CEO clearly says these new engines are part of their larger strategy. Their aim is to give more performance with less fuel, less pollution, and a more reliable experience. These engines can also run on fuels like ethanol or hydrogen, which opens up more options. Toyota understands that the needs of every country are different. In some places, there is a lack of electric charging points. In some places, electricity is not reliable. In such situations, fuel engines prove to be the best choice. That's why the company is building engines that not only meet environmental standards, but are also cheaper to manufacture. So, these engines are designed using Toyota's TNGA technology, which, allows the same engine to be used in multiple vehicles. This not only saves time and money in manufacturing, but the same engine can actually be fitted in everything, from small cars to large SUVs. Engineers don't have to start from scratch every time, which lets them really focus on improving engine quality. This new approach, honestly, not only allows Toyota to update vehicles quickly, but also ensures that when fuels change in the future, like ethanol or hydrogen, the company won't have to make major changes in the factory. Dynamic force engines don't just focus on power or speed, but are actually designed to save more fuel and cause less pollution. These engines are unique in that they convert more of the fuel directly into power rather than wasting it as heat. The piston stroke is long, and the fuel injection technology is advanced. Special cooling systems such as electric water pumps and temperature control technologies have been installed to make the engine last longer and perform well in all weather conditions. Toyota's engine series has 3 variants, a 3-cylinder for small cars, a 4-cylinder for regular cars, and a V6 for bigger and more powerful vehicles. Each engine is designed to be compatible with hybrid systems, meaning the company can use these engines in both petrol and hybrid vehicles. They are manufactured in Toyota's international factory network. The design is such that it can be adapted in any country by using local parts. The advantage of this is that the cost is low, and if a country requires a specific fuel such as ethanol, the company can make the engine accordingly, without changing the entire factory setup. Toyota's dynamic force engine is not just a new engine. It is, honestly, a technological step that can, redefine the entire internal combustion engine industry in the times to come. Now, let's talk about what is so special in this engine that makes it, different from all the rest. First of all, let's talk about thermal efficiency. In a conventional engine, thermal efficiency, that's the ability to convert fuel into energy, is usually between 25 to 30%. This means that whatever fuel we put in, a large part of it is wasted as heat, and honestly, very little is actually used to run the car. But Toyota's dynamic force engine has taken this figure to more than 40%. This is such a big leap that, honestly, it is being considered a milestone in the auto industry. Now the question arises, how did Toyota do this? There are, many engineering marvels behind it. Alright, let's dive into the first aspect, which is the stroke-to-bore ratio. In a typical engine, the pistons just don't have enough movement, and that limits the fuel from burning completely. But here's the cool part. The dynamic force engine has a longer piston stroke and a smaller bore. This allows the fuel more time and space to burn fully. And you know what that means. More power and less waste. Moving on, another significant change is the high compression ratio. In a conventional engine, you'd usually find the ratio sitting around 10:1, or even less. But in the dynamic force engine, it reaches an impressive 13:1. What does this mean? Well, it means the air-fuel mixture gets compressed more, and that results in more energy when it burns. Pretty neat, right? Now you might be thinking, with such high compression, wouldn't the engine run hotter? And you'd be right. That's why Toyota has introduced another advanced feature, the variable cooling system. This system ensures the engine stays at optimal temperatures, even with the increased compression. Quite innovative, don't you think? So, this cooling system actually has an electric water pump that adjusts cooling according to temperature. It prevents the engine from overheating and, keeps it at the perfect temperature, so there's no compromise in performance and efficiency. Also, it has a multi-hole direct fuel injection system which sends fuel into the cylinder so cleanly that the burning process becomes even cleaner and more powerful. Now the question arises, is this engine only for hybrid cars? Absolutely not. The dynamic force engine is designed for both hybrid and non-hybrid segments. This means this engine not only performs well in hybrid cars, but is equally powerful for